This is my third time trying to record this video because my computer keeps having encoding issues because I didn't realize I was recording in 4K. Um, anyways, I have bad news, guys. Really bad news. At 6:30 p.m. today, I was standing in line downtown-ish, I think downtown is an exaggeration, standing in line down in Austin at Emo's, it's a music venue, to see my favorite band, Hiatus Kaiyote. And I am not. They'd be on literally right now, 9 p.m. This is when they'd be on, and I am not watching them. I am not taking pictures of them because their show got canceled because the lead singer had bronchitis, and that is very unfortunate. And I hope she rests up, and I hope she gets well soon, and I hope I get another chance to see them. Um, but yeah, it's really sad. So I'm very sad. I bought like 5 rolls of film to go and shoot them, and I had a full photo pass and everything. Like I was dialed. I was so excited. My favorite band, but unfortunately, it didn't work out. That's how it goes sometimes. That's okay. The thing I want to say about it though is that for the last few days, I felt like exceptionally anxious about it. Like I somehow have to like prove myself. Like this is like a testing grounds. Like I felt very just I don't know like anguished anxious and anguished. Something was off, and I'm trying to not feel that way because what I realized is that there's a big part of me, like when I was pulling out of that parking lot, that ends up in that situation, and that finds peace in the fact that the thing I was so excited about didn't work out. Does that make sense? Like, dude, this is my favorite band. I've been so pumped to see them. I got a photo pass. I literally earned that photo pass. I took pictures at their lead singer's solo show here in Austin over a year ago. The manager reached out to me, asked for the photos, said, "Hey man, you send me these photos, I can get you a photo pass, I'll get you into the next Austin show. Anytime the band's in Austin. Anytime." I said, "Awesome. Thank you. Here's the photos." I earned that photo pass. They literally posted some of those photos on their page. We're all over the stories. Like it was on the band's page, not just the lead singer's page. And I'm not sure if it's still up. They might have cleaned things up. I don't know. But my work on my favorite band's page, and I earned that photo pass. I reached out multiple times to make sure I had it. I bought this film, and the last few days I felt so anxious about it. It didn't work out, and I felt like relieved, not like relieved that the anxiety was done, but like relieved in the sense of like, oh man, shucks, this is just kind of what happens to me. This is my lot in life. Like I sort of expected things to go poorly. That's kind of how I felt the last few days. It's like it's too good to be true, you know, and that's not the kind of mindset I want to live in. That's not the kind of life I want to live in. Like I don't want to believe that about my reality because then I'll start seeing it in more places. What I want to believe about my reality is that things go my way, and in the midst of chaos, I'm a killer, I'm a performer, and I was made for it. And like I can seize the day and I can make it happen. That's what I want to believe. I want to believe that things go right for me, and I show up and I show out. Um, and I'll always show up and show out, but I don't want to believe that, or sort of feel like I saw it coming, quote unquote, when things go wrong. Like I want to fight to the last, moment to make things happen, to make it go right for myself. Obviously, this is out of my control in this case, but I was sitting in the car and I was like reflecting on the way that I was feeling, and I just don't like it. I don't want to feel that way. I don't want that to be my reality. I don't want to believe that about myself. I don't want to look for that. And my experiences, and I think that if I can get over that, that's one of the last kind of mental roadblocks. I think that's holding me back right now. I've started to really trust and believe in my taste before anybody else's, to be honest. I really started to believe in myself because of that. Like if for a long time I've been like, yeah, I believe in myself. Like, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm making it happen. I'm out and I'm doing freelance stuff. But like lately, it's different. Like I actually believe in myself. Like just in the core of my being, I have zero doubt in my mind that I have zero doubt in my mind that I won't achieve the things I'm setting out to do. I have full belief. Like even if it takes 3 or 5 years, like I'm not worried about the timeline. That's not what I'm thinking about. I just know that if I apply myself and I try to solve the problems that are relevant, I'm going to. I don't know what's changed, but anyways, found another sort of hole in my mental, and I'm trying to get over it. So what I have for you today, though, besides sort of that rant, is some photos that I took. I mentioned last week that I was gonna. I'm actually not gonna show my face during this, unfortunately, because those are the sections that have been really buggy on the last couple of recordings. So I'm just gonna show the screen. But check this out. So I did 2 shoots last week. I just got the photos back yesterday. I did one with my friend Joe and my sister Finley. I'll show you them separately. This was my first time in a studio. Joe, we went downtown and just kind of shot around. We had a Pinterest board with sort of a vibe on it. Try to kind of channel that, reference a lot of the poses and stuff, which is what this is. I'm quite happy with this photo. Although I don't love the location 100%. Like, I wish this wasn't here up here. Besides that, very happy. Yeah, I'll just kind of scroll through these and talk. Really happy with this picture. And this is my favorite from the whole set. It just feels really good. I like the pose a lot. It just sort of feels very natural and random and spontaneous, and the depth is really, really good. So I shot with it. This was broad daylight. I shot with an ND filter, which is how I was able to get this kind of depth with a max shutter speed of only 1,000 on this old film camera. So I bought this little kit of ND filters, 1 to 4 stops, and it was my first time shooting with that on photos. Obviously, I've done that in video, but yeah. These are all my favorite photos from the set. I like the reflections here, I like the Texas flag, like the American flag, like the way he feels like small, but like the focus of the image. Cool first shot of the roll with a flash. Very cool. Cool texture. Yeah, really happy with these overall. Another thing that I want to share. I'm just kind of going through it right now, which is awesome because it means I'm growing. When I was out there shooting these photos, I felt like I just had no idea what I was doing. I was like so not in it. It's hard for me to describe. I was looking through my viewfinder, and a lot of the times, like, I'll be really inspired by what I see, or I'll be trying to capture a certain thing, and it'll just be like, I don't know, like, it'll be good. Like, I'll be looking forward to seeing the photo. But that day, I just felt like I had no sense for what I liked or not. I wasn't looking through the viewfinder and being like, that's it, like, that's the shot. You know what I mean? That wasn't happening. Encoding overloaded. I'm going to stop recording real quick. So anyways, I come home and I finally get these photos, and I was really surprised with how much I liked them, how much I was enjoying them. I think I liked them, at least at first glance, I liked them even more than the shoot I did with Finley. And when I shot with Finley, I was super excited about those photos. So yeah, anyways, Joe might even be seeing these photos before I send them to him. I'm probably gonna send them in the next day or so. If so, hi Joe. Thanks for shooting with me. I'm glad they came out good. I hope you think they did too. And let's talk about Finley stuff. So again, this was my first time shooting in a studio. I'm going to talk in a minute about a little bit more about what I was talking about with Joe, where I wasn't feeling inspired and just trying to figure out what it is about this portrait stuff that I'm going to like, if that makes sense. Anyway, I'll get into it in a minute. But first time in the studio, love this photo. I love how it cut off right at her eyes. I mean, I was shocked by how perfectly that came out. That's not something you can plan for. First time shooting in front of like background like this, all natural light. Some modifiers, but yeah, messed up flash here. I was on the wrong shutter speed. Need to get better about doing that. But Finley really liked the photos. I showed her the whole set, so she picked these. I was like, oh, like these still came out sick. So, anyways, I'm quite happy with this one. Obviously, the flash is desynced, but like it looks dope. I don't know. It has a certain energy to it. It's very good. This one as well. I feel like I'm quite pleased with this photo, except for this over here, which isn't that big of a deal because it kind of blends in with these lines. I'm really happy with this photo. I like how she's a little bit off center, and it just feels like a nice behind the scenes kind of shot. Did some cool stuff with this couch. This one is, I like how this photo came out. I love how natural the kind of roll off from the highlights are. It almost looks like a digital photo, but with some kind of film characteristics. But obviously, you know, I did some editing to it. I try not to go crazy on editing, like very simple here, very minimal here as well. Just like little tweaks that kind of bring out the character and kind of fix some exposure stuff. But I try to make sure, I don't know, I try to let the picture tell me what it wants to be. And most of the time when I shoot on film, I feel like the picture wants to be what the film looks like. And in this case, though, I thought that there were these really nice kind of deep blacks, and I wanted to see if I could bring that out. And it came up very naturally. And so I really like this look here. Anyways, that's a small note, but yeah, after we shot in this video, we went out to the Arboretum and did a few shots. These are really the only two pictures I like from there, but they're both pretty fun. There's some flash stuff. I really like the depth on this photo and how sharp she is. Like it feels really good. Her eyes pop. They almost feel green, like the plants, even though they're blue. They almost feel green to me. I guess there's some green tones in there actually, but they sort of, I don't know, they align, especially like visually on this sort of line here. So yeah, last story I have is about these last two images. They're kind of funny because you can see these crazy light leaks and stuff. The reason for this is I got to the end of that roll and I was sitting there and my counter said E, and I was like, oh, I'm done shooting. So I was like, oh, this is probably last shot here. We might get 37 pictures out of this. Sometimes you get 37 out of a 36 roll. And I took the picture and I winded the film, and yeah, I didn't feel it stop. Like you can tell when the roll ends. And I was like, okay, that's weird. Maybe we get 38. I took another picture, winded it again. The wind went full again. And I was like, oh, the roll's still not done. There's something weird here. I took another picture quickly. Roll still didn't finish. I was like, okay, this is interesting. So I went down into the bathroom, which is just like, it was at this old school. It's a really cool kind of spot, but went down in the bathroom and turned the lights off and it was in the corner. It was very dark. And I popped it back open and I was like, okay, it is loaded correctly. It looks good. Okay, close it real quick. It was open for maybe like 1 second. And ended up just choosing to wind the film up and shoot a different roll because I didn't want to risk anything going wrong. But it means that over here, let's see, make sure this is working. Yeah, cool. You get these crazy artifacts, and it's kind of cool. She really likes how this one came out. I don't love seeing these production elements, but I don't mind them. And she loved this photo. She had a very strong reaction when I showed her this one, and she liked this one too. This one's really grown on me. So anyways, included a handful that I wasn't initially going to include when I sent them over to her. And this final one, we did this at the very end. It was a blast. Really fun to kind of figure out where to place her and stuff. And a lot of it, this was originally her idea. Like, I do not take credit for this idea. A lot of this sort of actions were her idea. She wanted to do with this book. She wanted to do over here. I was going to put her in similar places. I wanted to do with the mirror. I wanted to do her looking up here. I wanted to do her up here. So it was really fun sort of collaboration that came together. But yeah, shot everything on Portra. You can really tell in this image, very much feels like Portra to me. I don't know. That's what I have to share with those. I have a couple more thoughts I want to talk through. I'm going to close Lightroom because I think it's lagging my computer. But you got to see the pictures, so there you go. Those are my first two portrait shoots. I don't know how that makes you feel as a person, like, oh wow, this guy is killing it. This guy is the man. Or maybe not. Maybe you feel totally differently. I don't know. I feel positive overall about it. And I also have recognized what I think I really want to accomplish. So I'm going to share a couple more things with you guys on my Google Chrome. So this is my street photography page. My goal right now is to figure out what makes portrait photography interesting to me. What makes, the simplest way I can put it, what makes sort of street and documentary sort of photography interesting to me right now, like what keeps me coming back to this week after week after week after week, is that, and to put it simply, there's so much nuance to it, but to put it simply, I feel like when I'm out taking pictures, I am taking selfies. Like I'm taking pictures that reflect. I don't love this picture actually. I don't hate it, but this one is not a great representation. I take pictures of the way that I see the world. Like when I look at the last few sets of photos I've done on Instagram, I've been very happy with like, oh, I love this photo. I think about this photo often. I took a lot of pictures to get this one. It was like the second one I took, but I think I took like 8 frames of this because I was like, holy shit, this is so good. Sorry, Mom, if you heard me say that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't curse on these videos. I love when photos feel like there's life to them. Like this photo blows. I love this photo. There's another photo I think about. I love the texture in the grass. I love how it's growing up on the edges and up on this, these rings here. I love the exposure came out so beautifully. I don't even think I did almost any editing to this at all. There's a little Jesus here on this. I love how irregular this rose bush looks. I love how you can see detail in the sky. It was like sun was going down at this point. It feels like orderly but chaotic, and it feels like a reflection of how I see the world. And that's what keeps me coming back to photography, is taking pictures like that. So anyways, I think things are loading really slow because I'm recording, and I think this might come out really laggy. I have no idea. But I'm going to close all these other tabs. Oh my God, Google Chrome is cooked. When I record my screen, apparently it's cooked. I brought on the resolution and everything too when they're recording, and it's still like freaking out. Anyways, yeah. These pictures, these last few sets in particular, feel like a reflection of the way I see the world. Man, this is laggy. I might reset this recording real quick. My whole laptop is lagging out. Yo, we're back. I think I fixed the issue. I think it was Google Chrome was just messing up my memory because Google Chrome does that. So yeah, I wanted to talk about like what was exciting me about photography in the first place. So for me, I think I just explained everything pretty clearly. Anyways, what I'm trying to do is like figure out what it is that I like about portrait stuff, because it's very different work. And this guy, I think, is a great example. He's actually the number one. He's the guy I'm looking at right now in terms of what I want to emulate, what I want to capture the energy of. I want to show you this set, and this is just like a photo shoot day, it looks like. He has a certain raw quality to all of his work. It definitely feels like it's on film. 99% of it anyways. Some of it you can tell is digital, but it's just such a good set, bro. Oh my God, it has so much personality. I love all the different looks and outfits. I love the filmic colors and these shadows, and I love his bias towards red. You see this kind of all over his work. Red, 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 red. Red is everywhere. I don't know why. I love it. He has such a distinct style, such a distinct taste. It feels very fleshed out and realized. This guy makes portrait photography interesting. Most portrait photography is nice and clean and professional, and maybe even has like a vision and sort of original idea that like makes it interesting. Like that, and that's great. You do your thing, more power to you, but that's not interesting to me. I look at pictures, and like for me, photography is like, do I ever think about a photo outside of when I'm just looking at it? Because I think about movies outside of when I just watch them. I think about songs outside of when I just listen to them. And I think the best art is art that we think about, that resonates with us so deeply that things will remind us of it. Things will sort of bring it back to the forefront. And I'm trying to figure out, how do I take pictures that do that? How do I, in general, in street, like the goal is like, how do I get people to see the world in the way that I see the world? Like how do I show them that? How do I represent that? And maybe I haven't achieved that for other people, but I think I'm well on the path to doing that. I'm very happy with a couple of the recent sets that I've done of images, and I'm trying to figure out how to make interesting pictures with portraits. It's not simple. It's not straightforward. It's exceptionally difficult, and I don't think I captured that energy, this Chad Moore guy energy, in either of my first shoots. Maybe there's a couple photos that lean towards it, but it's very hard, and I know that I'm gonna do it. I know I'm gonna get there because I'm obsessed with it right now. Like that's all I'm thinking about. This is all I was talking about with my girlfriend last night. One of the things I was saying was just that like I have gotten to a point where I have extremely high self belief. I think I was talking about this earlier, but like I truly believe that like I set my mind to something and I get zeroed in on it. Like I'm at a point where I can kind of ignore everything else around me and like just focus on the thing. And so that's my goal right now with all of this is to just get really, really dialed on this thing and figure out how to make stuff do it in such a volume that it becomes impossible to fail. So yeah, that's what's up. I'm gonna get there. You'll kind of see me over the next few weeks as I continue to shoot. I'll try and post on here more. I wish I posted more in general on here, just for my own sake, looking back on it and everything. But this feels like probably the most important video I've made for a number of reasons. So I hope you got something out of it if you watched it all the way through. And I hope you're looking forward to seeing more of my work in the future as I try and make photography interesting. I did not shoot this last week. I'm not going to shoot this week in terms of video, in terms of like personal video projects, film projects, I guess, because I am really obsessed with pictures right now and I'm trying to get that dialed, trying to get that on lock. It's really hard, arguably impossible, but somehow I believe I can do it. So impossible is a strong word. Obviously, when I say impossible, I mean I can't beat Chad Moore. So, and not that I want to, but I want to succeed in his style and then like use it as a building block. And maybe I should do that with other styles. I don't know. But I look around. I don't know why I'm trying to wrap up. I have a couple more things to say. I look around at a lot of people and a lot of their work on Instagram. Dude, photography shit online, most of it I do not care for, bro. I think I am like probably the least photography focused photographer of all time. Like I don't care to talk about gear. I don't care. Talk to me about focal length, bro. Like I don't care. All I care about is like what makes a picture interesting, what makes it memorable. Not like what makes it pretty, what makes it well composed, what makes like I don't care about any of that. I think I've established enough of a baseline with all of those elements that I don't think about that anymore. And I don't say this all to put down other photographers because I think there's a lot of people out there creating really great work, really phenomenal work. And you know, I've complimented people many times on work that I think is stellar, but it's just not the kind of work I'm trying to create. So, yeah. I got to figure out over the next few weeks how to make some money doing this because I need to sustain it. I spent like $350 on film this month or something, and I'm going to spend more next month probably. But thanks for watching. Stick around. I'll have more coming soon. Sorry for the anti-photographer rant. There's only a handful of guys that I like. I just like street, bro. I just like street. That's the thing. Like I just don't care for any editorial professional stuff. I will never retouch a photo in my life. I swear to God, I will never do that. I think it's the lamest thing ever. Anyways, not why I take pictures. I take pictures because of pictures, not because of beauty or whatever. I have lots of thoughts on that, and I feel really aggressive about it, which is usually a sign that it's an undeveloped opinion, which it probably is. But that's how I feel very strongly right now, and I trust my taste at the moment, and so I'm just leaning into that. And I'm going to try and shoot in a way that I enjoy to shoot because that's all you can do. And I'm going to get there. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to create the work that I want to do. And like I say this over and over again, I just have zero doubt. I have genuinely zero self-doubt. I don't know why. I think I talked about that earlier. I might have talked about that on the other recording. Zero self-doubt in my mind. I don't know why. I just truly believe in myself lately, last couple months. So I'm going to try to be uploading on here more. Hopefully you'll be able to see me develop. It might be a year before I solve the photography problem of like how to photograph in an interesting way, but I'm going to get there. I have no doubt. So thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of this. Have a great day. And if you're a photographer and you watch this, I'm sorry if you feel insulted or something, or you feel like I'm full of it, because I am, I guess. I apologize for that. But hopefully you find my work interesting, like I do. At the moment anyways. I might not think, I don't know. I'm trying to cover my tracks because I feel bad or something. I should stand by what I said. It's just a capturing of this moment anyways, in the same way that pictures are.